Hi there, crafty friends. Irene here from Artemis Made, and today I'm going to walk you through sort of my new obsession, artist trading cards, or ATCs. This time I am using the Pride and Prejudice set from Scrappy Boy, which I absolutely love, my favorite book. So here, basically what I'm doing, I've taken some paper, different pattern paper that I think kind of matches Lizzie's dress and her hair, and it looks kind of right for the era as well. And I've cut it with a border die for clouds. So that way I'm getting kind of an interesting edge on each one. So I'm going to put a little bit of the glue at the top, liquid glue, and then I start with layering my paper. So I start at the top and then I put a little bit of glue down each time and layer over the top of the previous one, but at the bottom of it. So that way I've got a nice layered look all the way down. And then the bottom one goes right there, and then I can basically trim off all the edges. But first I kind of check to make sure that Lizzie looks good because I'm going to put her little feetsies behind the bottom layer. So I'm going to trim off the excess. Now my artist trading card is 2.5 by 1.5. So I like to use this Stampin' Up! Envelope maker because it's got that little border, or I should say corner rounder, and that way I get nice little round edges for my artist trading cards. Now what I like to do with my cards, I pop up the top part of my focal point and then I glue down the bottom. So there's just a little bit of dimension, but they still fit inside of my little plastic sleeves that I use to hold these. So you can see I tucked her behind the bottom layer there. Then I'm going to glue it down, and I glued her head down, but you can see a little bit of shadow under her head because that's the dimension. Now I'm going to give her a little fan to go with, and I did the same thing here. I used a very small, very low loft little foam square. So I just get a little bit of shadow under her fan, but then the other part of it I have flat. Now, whenever you need a sentiment that just doesn't exist, label maker. That's the way I do it. So I printed out a label that I made because I thought it was funny, and I'm going to take off the backing and I stick it onto regular cardstock. And that way I can trim it down using my little Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer, and I get a sentiment that I made that I want, that is exactly what I want it to say, but I also have it on cardstock. So I can pop it up or I can glue it down or whatever I want to do. And I can trim it like this too. Say that I don't want the whole thing all the way across, maybe it's too long. I can trim it down so that I can put it into little sections. So here I've got my 3 little sections of the sentiment. I tried putting it up by Lizzie's head to see how I like it. That's where I normally put them, but it just didn't look right to me. So I decided to give it a shot at the bottom, and I ended up really liking that look. So for this particular card, I put the sentiment at the bottom. And if you are wondering what it says, if it's too small, it says, feeling cute, might pollute the shades of Pemberley later, IDK. So I just had fun with a little meme there. Now I want to give this a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of dimension, a little more dimension I should say, with some enamel dots. And these are sparkly enamel dots, they're super fun. So what I like to do is, rather than just take them off the sheet right away, I cut apart my enamel dot sheets so that I can leave the backers on the dots at first and kind of move them around to see where I think they look best. So that's what I did with these, and then you can see I finally liked where they went, and I decided to put them in those three little spots. And those are 3 different size enamel dots, which I think also adds interest. And there's a better shot of the sentiment, and there's a shot of Lizzie. So that is my card. And now here we've got Mr. Darcy. It says, "You're broke and your family sucks. Marry me." So again, I made my own sentiments because I thought it was fun. And there's the pair of them, one of literature's finest couples that everybody loves. And here we've got Jane and Bingley. So both of them are, if you notice on Jane's, I put a little bit of border trim, like an actual fabric trimming at the bottom. And here we have Lydia and Wickham. So Wickham, that scoundrel, and Lydia, that foolish, foolish girl. So here I've got a pair of couple cards. I've got a few couple cards. So I've got Incandescently Happy. I've got Lizzie and Darcy together. Then I've got Jane and Bingley together. And I love the little bows that are tied there. And that one says 1,000 times yes, because that's what she says when he proposes. And then after, you can see a little bit of gold on the paper too. It gives it a little sparkle. And then here I've got Lydia and Wickham, lost forever. You notice a little bit of red there. It kind of picks up his coat, but also indicates that there's something going on there. So here we go. There's our 3 couples, and there are the 9 cards all together. So I've just been loving doing the artist trading cards. It's just like greeting card making, but on a smaller scale. And there's something about it that's just really relaxing and fun. And I like that collage feel. There's just something about it. So I hope you enjoyed this view of my ATCs. If you did, I would love it if you liked and subscribed. Thanks so much for joining me and have a great day.